Welcome back to Durbanites FPL, guys. It's time for Game Week 27 review, Game Week 28 preview. Just 2 hours left at the time of making this video before the deadline. Make sure you get your selections in. We're going to make it a quick one because of the tight timelines. Starting off with the table, as you can see, not much change at the top. Dora, the scorer, in third spot as well. But Coconut Stan is starting to really embed herself in the top 10. Let's see whether she can keep that up. Elsewhere, Jurassic Jump is jumping up there, almost back in the first page of the table. And other than that, Gunners FC slipping down. The champions, both of them, are struggling at the bottom of the table. And then you got Plunder FC having his best season so far, looking to climb up. Really, really good in a tough week. Some good results coming out of there for sure. Let's have a look at what the player selections look like. So the staples, Erling Haaland losing some faith, guys, after a few blanks and only assists. He's going through a bit of a tough time, but just be wary for those that have moved him. He's going into the last 10 games of the season. This is generally where he kicks up again, and Manchester City do have some favourable fixtures coming up. So for those that left him go, good luck. For those that have kept him, even better luck. Gabriel Magalhaes also jumps up a little bit to 65%. Trevor Chalobah still at 60% at the deadline cutoff for this week. Now, looking at the differentiators, Alex Iwobi was big one with 13 points, just one manager having him on the team. That was Goose. Well done for him, not making changes for a couple of good decades now. And then Victor Gyökeres coming up with 13 as well, so good for the Arsenal striker after a long while before he scores as well. Dean Henderson with a penalty save, really doing well for at least 3 of our managers as well, and Virgil van Dijk coming in with returns for about 6 managers as well. Great fixtures coming up for Liverpool, so look at him returning quite often, we hope. Now, looking at the hits and misses, not much to talk about this week, guys. Very difficult week for the strikers, but still managing to get, thanks to a captaincy of João Pedro, myself, Azra, Hassan, Atta, Zai, and Umer all picking up super striker points. And at the back, really Virgil van Dijk holding everyone together there. So stonewalls for Hassan, Atta, Zai, Ami, Fatih, Umer, and Squish as usual. No misses this week, guys. There were a few triple captains played, didn't quite work out, but we'll give that a miss. Now, looking at the best possible selection for the week, you can see it was a tough one. Dean Henderson was the one who came in with the best points there for goalkeeper, putting Petrovic with 9 points on the bench, Virgil van Dijk with 11, Munoz with 9, Diouf with 9, and Dalla with 7, making up the back 4, leaving Richards from Crystal Palace on the bench. Then you've got a 3 in the midfield with Wilson. He will be the captain for this week, and Neto. And then we have Ngumo and Anderson not making it off the bench on the midfield, but 3 up front as well. Welbeck, Gyökeres, and Abraham, all of them coming in there. Tammy Abraham coming on good form onto Aston Villa. That selection was but you're 183 with 149, including the bench boost at a total cost of 88.4. So a very, very affordable team as well. Now, without further delay, let's have a look at the matchups, guys. As you can see, we're in game week 28, goes up to game week 37. That means from next game week, we are in the last 10 games of the season. It's going to get super tight. So when we look at it as well, Arsenal coming up with some tough games before they get into the end of the season. It's a tough time for them as well. Manchester City right behind them. Chelsea has a potential to actually knock them off the throne this weekend. Let's see how that goes. Then you've got Brighton, you've got a good fixture this weekend, but also a tough run in towards the end of the season. Chelsea themselves take on Arsenal and Aston Villa, both above them in the league. And then they've got Manchester City a few days down the line. And between that, Newcastle and Everton, it is not a very good time for Chelsea with that run in and the European spots up for grabs. Everton themselves have Newcastle before they take on Burnley, but then they've got Arsenal and then Chelsea before they take on Brentford. So again, for Everton, quite safe this season it seems, but tough matches coming up. And Spurs are the one that we're really watching for, guys. In these last 10 matches, they've got Liverpool, Sunderland, Aston Villa, Chelsea, as well as a few London derbies that are happening as well. It's a very tough one. Spurs are close to relegation, and it's going to take a fight for them to come through after getting smashed by Arsenal in the last week. Now, going from this, let's have a look at the player selection. So when we look at the player selection, Chelsea is out for the goalkeepers, but from the defenders, Colwell and Kukureya out for Chelsea, Livramento, Shearer out for Newcastle, Guardiola still out for Manchester City, but Marguerite is there, so never fear. Then you've got Pedro Porro still out for Spurs, as is Christian Romero, suspended until the 15th of March. Then you've got Patrick Dogu still out for United, and now Claude Mukiele is out for Sunderland. For all of those that have kept him on for the long throws, that is not going to work out right now. For the picks, we've got Emi Martinez for Aston Villa, good games, as well as Petrovic, who's been doing really well for Bournemouth. Then you've got Kelleher for Brentford, good run of games coming up for them, and Alisson Becker for Liverpool, who's, let's say, the premium choice based on his pricing. From the defense, slim pickings this week as well because of the tight fixtures. So Matty Cash in for Aston Villa, Mark Gahey for Manchester City, Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool, Ibrahima Konate if you don't have the money for Virgil, Senesi, Marcos Senesi, and Hill, same situation. Senesi is the premium price defender at Bournemouth. Hill doing really well as well for Bournemouth, and he's at 3.9, probably 4 at this moment in time, so very, very affordable. And Collins, who has done really well for Brentford, chance for him to come back and pick up some good points in this run of games that they have. So looking at the midfield, still quite a bit of carnage in the midfield. Spurs is missing a whole lot out of the midfield. Merino still out for Arsenal, and Saka is still doubtful. Doku's out for City. Tavernier is doubtful for Bournemouth, but should be up and ready to play. Grealish is out for the season as well. Lewis Miley and Bruno Guimaraes out for Newcastle, so they are really thin, coming on the back of back-to-back European Champions League qualifying games. I wonder how that's going to pan out. John McGinn and Yuri Tillman's out for Aston Villa, which is kind of coinciding with their poor run of form. And Florian Wirtz last week picking up a last-minute injury on the touchline, which has ruled him out for last game week and this game week. Only a 25% chance of him playing. Chances are he will not be used in this game week. So what do we have left then? Morgan Rogers and Douglas Luiz, maybe the last of 3 easy games for Aston Villa, so winnable games. Then you've got Antoine Semenyo for Manchester City. Marcus Tavernier, if he's fit to play, will be good for Bournemouth. Szoboszlai is the only one that we're calling out at Liverpool with the absence of Florian Wirtz. And for Manchester United, we've dropped Matthias Cunha based on, let's say, his performances, and also if Benjamin Sesko has the opportunity to play, he will probably be the one sacrificed. So Brian Mbeumo is still in there, playing really, really well, and Bruno Fernandes, of course, the man who has the plan. Ismail Assar for Crystal Palace is the call-out. Kevin Skade and Dango Otara for Brentford, and Diego Gomez for Brighton and Hove Albion is the call-out if you're looking for someone who's a game changer. And then looking at the forwards, guys, a few of them coming out of injury list, but Chris Wood is still out, as is Alexander Isak, Eddie Nketiah, and Jean-Philippe Mateta. Kai Havertz is still doubtful, but he is getting a few minutes in the game, but definitely a minute's risk at this moment in time. From the picks, Erling Haaland has been dropping in popularity, but he's got the games to go. 3 fairly winnable games for Manchester City. They are chasing that title now very, very hard. I expect Erling Haaland to go full steam ahead. Igor Thiago's got a great fixture this week against Burnley. Look at him to get a lot of the captaincies as well. Dominic Solanke is the one that's got to lead the line for Tottenham Hotspur. Hopefully he is now fully ready to start 90 minutes. Ruby Jr. for Bournemouth has definitely got a better scoring record than Evan Nielsen. Tammy Abraham is doing so much better than Ollie Watkins. I think he will probably get a start. I would if I was Unai Emery, but not really sure how that will pan out. But he is returning very consistently. And then Jorgen Strand Larsen is the only fit striker currently at Crystal Palace. But if you want, you can also go for Yves Guisson, who's on loan from Aston Villa and is currently playing in a midfield role, but is being used as a striker for Crystal Palace as well. And then, of course, Ugo Ekitike, with a run of games coming up for Liverpool, is definitely one that you can look for. Guys, I'm going to keep this one really, really short. We have a deadline coming up, less than 2 hours left now. When I publish this, it's probably going to be about an hour and a half. Make sure you get your changes done for the Friday kickoff. Until next time, that's all for now.